We're very confident about our team right now. We feel like we've got a pretty special team, but the Big Ten is full of great athletes and tremendous coaches, and so you're hoping you'll play well enough to find a way to win. And today we did. All those sets could have gone the other way. You were there, right?
Yep.
I mean, they all could have gone the other way, but we found a way, I think, down the stretch of each set to make the plays necessary, whether it be a tough serve to take them out of system or somebody passing a tough serve, so we could then get the ball to our hitters. But I was pleased. Anytime you beat a team that's that's a middle of the pack team in the Big Ten, which is a potential NCAA tournament team, and you can sweep them without having to go to extra digits at any point in any set, then that's a pretty comforting feeling.
Nice. Huge blocking performance tonight. I think career high on blocks for Lizzie. Did you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Lizzie hasn't played a lot, so that might explain part of that. But she's been a nice addition. She's so large, as a blocker, that even before the ball is set to a hitter, they're already thinking about that big block over there. We have Kenna Woller's been playing that spot all season, and she's a great blocker. But we just watched how well Lizzie's progressed, and we thought she had earned a spot opportunity to play. And man, she did a great job.
What's the key to getting all those blocks?
Knowing, being prepared, following. We come in here. We didn't have a lot of time to prepare because we played on Friday night down in Bloomington, and we had yesterday to get ready, and today we watched a lot of tape. And our coaching staff talks to them about what to expect from each rotation, what they're going to run, who's going to get the ball, what routes they're going to run, what shots they like to hit. So then we try to take away those things the best we can. What helps, and answer your question in a better way, is if we're serving tough and the ball's being passed 15 feet off the net, that narrows their options of who can get the ball. So it's like if they come down the floor in basketball and the ball's going to one player all the time, you can double team him a lot easier, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but in volleyball it's the same thing. They get that setter off the net, we know it's going to go here, or maybe the back row attack, which they use in 13, okay? So that narrows their options down, and so that allows you to do a better job of blocking balls.
Gotcha. Another force up front is Eva. It's like she's always around the ball, plays with so much passion.
Yeah.
What does having a player like that up front just do for the rest of the team?
I think it's very, that's what I want to say, but it certainly exudes confidence when you have that kind of a player. I mean, tonight, if you watch her tonight, she had a great match, but it was just a normal match for her. She wasn't electric like she is sometimes, but she was really good. But she has 19, 5, 40 for 350. She blocks, 3 balls, a couple of them, and one got taken away because they called a net call before she got to it. But I just think having that kind of a player, when you step on the floor, you've got somebody as good as anybody else that you're going to see. And I think that's great. I played high school basketball. We had a guy named Sam Drummer, who was the 3rd ranked player in the entire country. Okay, just was an incredible physical athlete and great player. So we knew every time we stepped on the floor, we had a chance to win because we had that kind of a player.
Nice.
Yeah.
Last 4 games, only dropped 1 set. What's been the key to the team's consistency over the last 4 games?
Well, I think a lot of it is, as you mentioned earlier, who your opposition is. These are all 4 teams that were in the bottom half of the standings. When you play teams in the upper half of the standings, it's harder. But I've been here a long time, and normally when you play anybody in our league, it normally goes more than 3. It just does. It just, people figure you out, and they've got enough good players to put a good game plan together. But I think it means, here's what it means: we're not giving points away. So we're not making a bunch of stupid service errors, and we're serving tough. We're not, we're passing serve well, which is the biggest improvement this team has made. And when they attack the ball over the net, you don't see people standing around watching the ball hit the floor. We get after the ball. We understand what our jobs are, our responsibilities are, so we play really well together.
And then just heading into the final month of the season, what are you expecting to see from your team?
More of the same. We're really in a good position right now. We've worked hard. We're 20-5. 5 losses have been to teams ranked in the top 8 in the country. We should have beaten 2 or 3 of them, to be honest with you. That put us in a really good position, but we didn't. But now we've got to make sure that we just get ourselves ready to play every match. And when you have the mental tenacity that we have on this team, I expect that to happen. It's not as hard as it is with some teams to get it ready to play, because they have high goals, high expectations. They're wired a little bit differently. than some of the teams I've had, or teams, any other team you see in the country. Our team was wired different than the team you watched tonight on the other side of the net, right? I mean, they're a little bit different.
Yes.
They just have this competitive edge, which is pretty neat. Yeah.
Lots of intensity.
Yeah.
And then last question, just in a few weeks you play number 3 Penn State. What's going to be the key to coming out with a W?
Oh, we'll talk about that one later. To be honest with you, they're a great team. They got stung this weekend by Wisconsin, which not that it was a surprise they lost, but it was a surprise that they got beat by the score. So that was a real surprise to me. I know how they're both teams are really talented, so I thought it would be a humdinger in Madison, but it was not. We'll do our best to be prepared to play them, but they're tough. They're tough, and it's at their place, and they'll be playing. They're trying to host the first 4 matches. And so if you're a top 4 seed, you host the first, second, third, fourth round if you keep winning. Okay, so there are 4 teams right now. Those top 4 teams would be Nebraska, Pitt, Louisville, and Penn State if the season ended today. Those 4 would get to host. It's a huge advantage. Basketball doesn't do it that way.
No.
Basketball plays on neutral floors for the most part. Okay, and here you give that team that huge advantage, but they earn it by what they do during the regular season. We want to be a top 16 seed because then we host the first and second round.
That's nice.
And right now we certainly are in that category. Yeah.